Welcome to my Mailchimp email marketing tutorial where I'm going to show you how to send emails with Mailchimp. It's pretty easy to do and you can follow along with me right now. So what I did is basically when you're on the main dashboard, there's going to be a create button. I clicked on that and we get taken to a page that looks very similar to this. Given the fact we want to send some emails, the main thing we want to do right here is click on design email. There's going to be a few other things that we're going to need to do first, but this is going to give you the overview when it comes to just sending out an email. Let's click on design email. All right, so here we are when it comes to sending an email with Mailchimp. There's a few things that we want to do here. First and foremost, there's this marketing island right here. I just have 3 example recipients. That's who it's going to go to. Of course, if you want to change that up, you can go to edit recipients so you can choose who your email is going to go to. It's pretty simple stuff. Most of the time, if you have a newer account or you don't have a lot of people on there, it's probably going to go out to most people. Unless you have an account where like it's one niche and a completely different niche, then you're not going to want to do that. Nevertheless, you can edit your recipients there, but for the most part, you're probably going to be good with the people who are already on your Mailchimp account. Next, we have our from here. This is going to be good if you already have an email that it's going to be coming from, which is going to be you. I recommend using an email that's going to be an actual domain as opposed to something like @Gmail or @Yahoo to help get better open rates. Next, we have our subject line. And what I like doing here is once I come up with a subject line, I like titling our actual email as the same thing. So for this, ironically enough, I do have an email that I'm going to be using. So I'm just going to say like, this is going to be, say we sent out a message saying like, hey, would you like this free gift? If you want to do that, you can respond to it. Or let's just say a lot of people were interested in getting a free gift. That's what this is going to be about. So let's go to the add subject here. So here I put click here to access what you requested. This is also good for a follow-up email. For example, if someone opts in, say wanting to get some type of lead magnet or free gift, I like using this for a few reasons. Aside from the fact that it checks off all the boxes here, it's short and sweet. Emojis are great if they're used. Like I don't have one, not a big deal. You can if needed. Space is limited and you get your point across. Something also that is great is that it includes a call to action. Click here to access what you requested. So if they wanted to get something from you or they requested something from you, the chances are higher that they're going to actually click there because they want to get it. Preview text is going to be that little bit extra, so you could put something like, all right, so here I put here is the gift you asked for. This can be something that's a little bit compelling, just a little bit. Just think of like it as an extension of a subject line. It's a little bit more, a little bit extra to help you get the click. So I'm going to click on save right here. All right, up next is going to be the send time. If you wanted to schedule it at a specific time, you can certainly do that. I would recommend writing the email first just to make sure that you complete it as opposed to scheduling an email when nothing is done. But I'm just going to keep it on send now so that anytime you want to send an email, you can do it right away and you're going to be good to go. So if you do want to change that around, it's going to be right there for you. Let's click save. And last but not least, we have the content. Design the content for your email. Let's click on right here for design email. So I've done a different tutorial that talks about creating newsletters. Now, newsletter is more of going to be, say, something like it could be a roundup or something like this where you have a lot of products for sale. For example, if I was doing a newsletter, I talk about some of the tutorials and reviews. It'd be like a longer list, a guide to them where you can check out the videos. This is going to be more of just a regular email where there's like pretty much no images and a lot less. With that in mind, I'm just going to show you how to start from scratch because once you know how to do that, it's pretty easy to get up and running. So I'm going to click on apply right here. All right, and so here we are. As you can see, I'm going to have my logo already there. If you ever wanted to replace that, you can go up here and replace it right here. And if you just want to get rid of it altogether, you can do remove block. I'm just going to keep it in now just because it looks nice, of course. If there's already an image or a block in here, we can go ahead and remove that. And this is going to be where our email is going to be. But in case you want to see how to add that block in, what you would do is go over here and drag and drop the paragraph setting right here. So I already have an email here. This video is less about like, how do I write my email as opposed to like, where do I put it in? How do I put it in? And so on and so forth. All right, so here's the email. And if you look at it, it looks kind of funny. Everything is scrunched together. It's centered, and I'm going to show you how to change that, obviously. So I clicked on here. What I'm going to do is just highlight everything. For me, it's Control and A, but what you can also do is just highlight all of this. And you can take the text right here and move it on over to the left. From there, I like breaking it up a little bit more just so that it looks a little bit easier to read. So if you look at it right now, it's all clumped together. It almost looks like a short like college essay, right? So what I like doing is making it look a little bit better. So every now and then I'm just going to add some line breaks. So we're going to do that. A few more here. This is talking about like the topics that we're going to be talking about in this. This is a good like example follow-up, like someone that just opted in and is looking for a gift. Oops. That's going to be the type of email that this is in case you're curious. So There's this. I like italicizing this and a little bit more space for my OCD needs. Okay, so also what we can do, these are going to be little bullet points here. This is talking about what's going to be in future emails. So what I can do is click on this right here. And what I do is just put my cursor here and I hit delete and it just goes straight into the bullet point. So I don't know if you can like see obviously the before and after, but I think it looks a little bit better. Not only just emails, but even if I'm doing articles, I like spacing things out so they're easier to read. People can skim them. They also look very good when it comes to like reading on a mobile device. So in case you're also curious, if you want to add a link here, let's say this is going to be the link to where their free guide is. What you do is you highlight it and you go right here to this little link. Okay, I'm just going to use my home website there. I'm just going to go with Marketing Isle just to show you that it's a link. Now, if you'll notice, this just looks like text that is underlined in black. A lot of people might not realize that this is a link. So what I recommend you do, anytime you do add a link, go over this, highlight it, what you want to utilize, and click on the color right here for text, and recommend making it blue. A lot of people know that links are generally blue. This looks so much better. It sticks out, it's easy to click, and so on and so forth. So this is going to be the overall email. And like I said, if you want to just get rid of this, I probably would too as well. I just happen to have that there. And that's going to be what it looks like as well. And there's a few other things that you can utilize if you look at the left section in case you want to add anything else. For example, there's going to be dividers. Everything is just drag and drop here. And anytime you want to edit around, you can do that. There's going to be spacers, images, buttons, videos. Videos are pretty self-explanatory. For example, if you have a YouTube video, you can drag and drop this in and it'll show that you just need to put your YouTube video right there and that's where it'll show up. But just to make this as simple as possible, when you're sending emails, I like making them as clean, simple, and like as least amount of pictures as possible. That's why I'd probably just delete the logo because the more images that you have, I have found throughout a lot of my testing and many others that the higher chances that you're going to be sent to the sin bin, aka the spam box, aka you're not going to get as many opens, clicks, or even sales, which is no bueno. So we can have a look right here when it comes to the preview. All right, and once again, I'd say it looks much better compared to the just complete wall of text where there was no spacing. Like a lot of this is broken up. As you can see, if we hover over this, this is going to be a link. We have some bullet points about what they're going to find out when it comes to, digital marketing and reading more emails. This is the desktop look right here. There's going to be the mobile one as well. Still looks pretty good. And if you'll notice, there's two things I want to bring up. First and foremost, on mobile, the call to action or the link is right there. You'll notice how they don't have to go all the way to the bottom and find that. That's a good thing. That's going to allow you to get more clicks. Another thing that can allow you to get more clicks, let's go back over here. You'll notice how the subject line was click here to access what you requested. And you'll notice that I used that as the call to action and the link as well. My reasoning for that, which I like using a lot, especially on a first follow-up email, is that if someone clicks on a link for this, the higher chances are that they're probably going to click on it again when it comes to getting what they requested. So that's my methodology behind that and my reasoning. I'd recommend trying that out as well. If you have a really good subject line, make sure that you use it as one of your links. You could also provide another link somewhere else if you need to, but that's going to be how you can set up the email. I think we're pretty good on that, right? So let's click on Save and Exit right here. All right, so we have one last thing to do. I just want to share with you some other information in case you have a question about it. So there's going to be settings and tracking, but I think this is going to be just perfect as it is. You can track opens and you can track clicks. They are already checked. That's going to be good. You can also track the plain text clicks. So it says track clicks in the plain text version of your email by replacing all links with tracking URLs. I think that just using the links that you already have is going to be fine. That's why I don't use that. There's going to be a few other things, like for example, if you want Google Analytics, e-commerce link tracking. So if you're not really doing e-commerce type stuff, like it's not going to be as big of a deal. So I think these two are going to be the best for you, and they're already set up. So if you're good with that, not much that you're going to need to do. So the last thing, if we are going to be sending now, the last step is simply clicking on the send button right here. And that's how you can send emails in Mailchimp, pretty much getting it started from getting it up and running, giving it a name, giving it a subject line, choosing who it's going to go out to, choosing your send time. And then from there, we have creating our email by using a very simple template. And of course, how to format it so it looks a little bit better both on desktop and mobile. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below, but I hope you got some value out of this Mailchimp email marketing tutorial. My name is James. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.